Hey, Rob Roberts here. I'd like to show y'all 3 different wraps with 30 gauge on 3 different jennies. I'd like to tell y'all that I wrap on drill bits. This little set right here takes care of that job right there for me. The top 3 that I have are 3 32nds, 7 64ths, and 1/8. And I was wanting to lower my ohms, so I have recently purchased some 30 gauge A-1 Kanthal. Got this off of eBay from this outfit here, Timco, and it's about $8 for 100 foot of it. And the 30 gauge has really changed the game for me at where I am with vaping on jennies. I'm still learning, and this was a very good thing that I did. I wanted y'all to know that I build single mesh coiled wicks, and I have learned that they don't need to be any wider than 30 millimeters, and all of these are less than 30 millimeters except for the did, and I have built it out of 15 millimeters of 500 and 15 millimeters of 235 in the center of the 500. So let's start by a quick toot on this Cobra. Wonderful, wonderful vape. It's a fresh battery in this Stealth. Tweaked the height the other day to get that just right. This, like we said, is the 30 gauge A-1 Kanthal 500 mesh. I wrapped that on the smallest of the 3 that I'm going to show, and that's with the 3 32nd bit. And that ended up at 1.22 ohms to the little meter, the ohm meter. And it's probably wrong, but whatever it takes to make it right. When I'm cooking on the grill, I use a thermometer. Some folks don't. That's just the way I am. I wrap with the drill bit, pull that out, the Peter K method that I saw from Todd on the Todd video, and I check it on the ohm meter. I wrap my mesh, burn it, of course, and get it just right where it'll slide in and out. And I check the difference with the ohm meter, whether it's in or out. I try to keep that number the same. It just makes sense to me. And then right before I vape, I'll check it and tweak it like we saw Dwayne in his videos do. Just take the pen and tweak it up a little so that you got an even burn. And it ends up that the mini is so small that I have to pull the wick every time to fill it, because if you don't, it'll just shoot right out the wick. So that's how that ends up. Then I go back, check, make sure my coil's burning even, take off. But the Cobra's doing nicely with 5 wraps, 1.22 ohms. I believe that the jury's still out of whether I like the 32 better at 4 wraps. That ended up less than 1.5 ohms. But let's go with this mini next. The juice stays nice and clean. I haven't cleaned it out. All I do is pull the wick, add juice. Oh, by the way, I'm running all 3 of these with one of the bolts out so that can wick better. This is the most pleasure I have had from the Mini to date. And this is a fabulous little rig, no matter what anybody says. I have added the quick connect business to it. That's the spring mounted on that. Let's see if you can see that. And I also did that same thing to my big did. What this mini ended up 1.36 ohm with a 7/64 bit. That's the second bit from the biggest. Let me go one more toot on that. This is very flavorful with 500 mesh. Really good. Very flavorful. Like that a lot. The 30 gauge Kanthal really changed things, and that 500 mesh really made it good. This is the dead. Got it on my little mortar. You can see that juice is really dark. I guess it's just so big that after you burn it in the coil, then you tip it back down and that burnt juice goes back down in there. I guess that's what's going on. But I have got 15 millimeters of 500 mesh with 15 millimeters of 235 in the center of that. Let's get us a vape. That is the most flavorful that I have ever been able to produce out of this dead. I took a honing stone to my top cap. I ended up taking 2 rounds off. Wasn't too absolutely pleased, so I ended up putting an O-ring on there. But I'm going for function on this number right here. And this ended up 135 ohms, and it takes a 1/8 bit to build this. That is the most amount of flavor I have ever been able to get out of this thing. But 500 mesh and the 30 really changed things for me, and just wanting to learn and share. I don't have a hook to end this video with, but this is my first bit of videoing, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.